I welcome you to Seth Adams Hall, but I have no name with which to greet you. I had a name, but as this institution had no interest in my name or my life, I do not feel compelled to share it with you. You may call me 51809, for it is the number assigned to my coffin lid and is all you or anyone will ever know about my life, so make of it what you will. From 1861 until 1920, Adams Hall was the main medical school, and dying indigent and unwanted earthly remains were shipped up here for dissection and study. Just inside the main entrance is a door leading to the basement, where cadavers were kept in pickle until they were ready for use. Take a few steps inside and you will see a staircase winding up above you. Take a look at the shape of the space around the stairs. Just perfect for hoisting a gurney. And that is just what they used to do. The dissection rooms were on the top floor, and a hook in the ceiling was used to hoist the bodies up there. You can still see the hook today if you look straight up. Given our rough treatment, I think it is only fair that I and my fellow cadavers have conspired to make Adams Hall the most haunted building on campus. Here is just a sampling of some of the stories we have contributed to the building. Several years ago, a room in the basement was used as a costume staging area for Pickard Theater, and also contained a small study room. Getting to the costume shop required walking a good way in the dark before you could get to a light. A student went down one night to retrieve a costume, and as she was heading towards the light switch, she saw a dark shape hunched over by the wall. She waited for her eyes to adjust to the dark so she could make sense of what she was seeing. But rather than clearing up, the figure continued to become less and less solid. She stayed long enough to watch it melt away into nothing, and then turned around and ran back up the stairs and straight back to her room. A few years before that, students were using the study room during one stormy night. In the middle of their session, there was a sudden clap of thunder, and the building lost power. The students were instantly encased in complete darkness. As the students started groping their way towards the door, they were stopped by the appearance of a bluish-white light that kept bobbing back and forth by the doorway. The students watched in silence until the light finally faded and the power came back on. One night, about 30 years ago, an ambulance was seen pulling up outside of Adams Hall. As a custodian was wheeled out on a stretcher, he could be heard repeating over and over again, "I was pushed." He had been found by a coworker at the bottom of the stairs when he had been left alone in the building. On the third floor, only a few years ago, an employee was coming into her office late one night to finish a project. When she got to her door, it was locked, so she got out her key and inserted it into the lock. No sooner had she done so than the entire door started shaking violently. Being a rather brave person, she went ahead and unlocked the door, thinking that she was going to find one of her office mates inside playing a trick on her. When she opened the door, she found the office completely deserted. The project would have to wait, she decided. She went straight home, and she never worked in Adams Hall after dark ever again. I have many more spooky stories I could share with you, but I will close my presentation with a story many alumni here may find interesting. When Adams Hall was renovated in 2007, they pulled up the floorboards on the top floor and discovered that some of the boards were actually lids to the coffins that shipped with the corpses they were studying. Did you ever have a class on the top floor? Well, then you were standing on my coffin lid. Just one more insult to my poor earthly remains.